How we doing today, guys? It's Jesse with the Common Man Corpus Christi, bringing you news and politics through a common sense lens. And Merry Christmas, by the way, if you're watching this before the holiday. If not, well, as you can see, I'm recording this before Christmas, thus the hat. So, let's get right into the news. From CNBC, and this was, yesterday. WHO, the World Health Organization, says vaccine booster programs will prolong COVID crisis. No country can boost its way out of the pandemic. Key points. WHO officials criticized blanket COVID vaccine booster programs as poor countries struggled to obtain initial immunization shots. The officials warned vaccine inequality could lead to the emergence of more mutant variants. Ooh, variants. It's like the ghost of Christmas past. The comments from WHO come as a health official in the U.S. promote vaccine booster shots amid a surge in COVID cases caused by the Omicron strand, or as Joe Biden likes to call it, the Omicron. World Health Organization officials on Wednesday criticized blanket COVID-19 vaccine booster programs as poor countries struggle to obtain initial doses, warning that unequal access to immunizations could lead to more mutated variants that drag out the crisis. Blanket booster programs are likely to prolong the pandemic rather than ending it by diverting supply to countries that already have high levels of vaccination coverage, giving the virus more opportunity to spread and mutate. The WHO Director General Tedros, said during a news briefing, the comments from the WHO come as officials in the U.S. promote vaccine booster shots for all residents over the age of 16 amid a surge in COVID cases driven by the Omicron strand. Israel on Tuesday announced it would offer a fourth dose of COVID-19 vaccines to people older than 60, which means soon, it was, with the Green Pass in Israel, 2 shots, and then you got to go everywhere. Now it's 3 shots, and then you get to go everywhere. What do you want to bet? The 4th one's coming in Israel. We'll get into that in a little bit. We want people to be able to gather over the holidays. CDC Director, you can. Go ahead and do it. CDC Director Dr. Walensky said in an interview on Wednesday, and safe gatherings include, of course, being vaccinated, ideally being boosted, and making sure that all the people who you gather with are also vaccinated and boosted. Fear. Be afraid of the unvaxxed. Be very afraid. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I'm in one of those moods. It's the holidays. Currently, the vast majority of COVID hospitalizations and deaths are among the unvaccinated people, not vaccinated people without booster shots, according to Tedros. That's not true at all. No country can boost its way out of the pandemic, he said. Global health experts say the emergence of Omicron is tied to the vaccine inequality. Omicron is thought to have emerged from an HIV patient in South Africa, where just 26% of the population is fully vaccinated. How's their deaths, by the way? You should look that up. The virus mutates particularly well in people with compromised immune systems, where it can live for a long time and figure out how to survive inside its human host. The WHO estimates just half of its members state it will have vaccinated at least 40% of their populations by the end of this year, because of distortions in global supply, Tedros said. Vaccine inequity is the most horrific injustice of 2021, Dr. Michael Ryan, executive director of WHO's Health Emergencies Program, said at the briefing. Oh, scary, be very afraid, everybody get the poke worldwide. Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with him. I think this push for boosters is stupid, and apparently the World Health Organization, according to CNBC, agrees, maybe for different reasons, but the outcome stays the same. So, on top of all of that, remember what I hinted about the 4th shot? Oh, here we go. From the dailymail.com. Britain considers 4th COVID vaccination. Experts will examine evidence on rolling out another jab after Israel and Germany announced second booster to tackle Omicron threat. The Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunization is weighing up whether to introduce 4th doses. Israel and Germany have announced an extra round of boosters to ward off on Omicron surge. Ooh, even though it seems like a lot of the people that are getting Omicron are already vaccinated. Even boosted in some cases. We'll get into that in a second. The Joint Committee, Israel and, there we go. The fourth jab will likely come after 4 months after the third if it gets the green light from health experts. I'm not going to read this whole thing. We'll just read the top little part of it. Britain is considering giving out a fourth COVID vaccine in a bid to stop the surge of Omicron cases following the lead of Germany and Israel. The rollout of second set of boosters is being examined by the experts at the Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunization. They will weigh the levels of immunity granted by the extra jab as well as the hospitalization figures, the Telegraph reports. Those with weakened immune systems are already entitled to a fourth jab, but the elderly and other vulnerable groups could soon be included. The fourth jab will likely come 4 months after the third. All right, they already said that. Professor Anthony Hardin, deputy chair, we need to see some more data. We're in different circumstances to Israel, and we need to see more data on waning immunity and vaccine effectiveness against hospitalization. An Israeli health expert who's sharing findings with the UK said, they missed the I. Good job, editors. Said they are already seeing waning immunity from a third jab, prompting the extra round of vaccinations. Remember what the definition of insanity was? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results? Weird how that's what it feels like we're doing right now, or at least in Israel, and what they're pushing for in the US. Oh, look at the pretty lady getting her shot. Oh, look at all these masked people. Oh, more masked people. It's madness, all of these masked people. Germany orders millions of extra doses of COVID vaccine and intends to offer another round of boosters. Number of infections per day in the UK, up 35%. Daily coronavirus hospitalizations in the UK, not really that bad. I mean, I know there's normally a 2-week lag, but that lag would account for between June right here, August, September, October, December. Yeah, you'd think you'd see a higher rate in hospitalizations. They're just now trying to catch on. That's weird. I don't know. That could be... that's interesting. Number of infections per day is way higher, and hospitalizations are pretty much staying the same. So as you can tell, by this chart, their numbers are going up, but their hospitalizations seem to be staying the same. Oh, number of deaths per day in the UK too. Man, look at that. That's not too... very, very low. So that one's their hospitalizations. Yep, hospitalizations seem to be staying steady. Deaths seem to be staying steady, even though everything's spiking. So we'll see how everything's going. New daily Omicron cases, that's spiking right there. So cases are spiking, but it seems like everything else is pretty much staying the same. We're not going to listen to that guy. So, all right, so here we go. Israel announced today that today's citizens over the age of 60 and medical teams would be eligible for a fourth COVID vaccine shot. The world will follow in our footsteps, Prime Minister Bennett tweeted. Yeah, no, let's certainly hope not, because that doesn't sound like a good time at all. The Israeli government moved quickly against Omicron, barring foreigners from entering on November 25th and expanding a list of high-risk countries to which its citizens should not travel, including the United States this week. I was really hoping to see the Holy Land at some point, but I'm not sure it's going to end up happening. So, Israel reported the country's first known death of a patient with Omicron before amending the statement to say a final laboratory investigation had determined he was infected with the Delta variant. So, they thought it was Omicron death, but it turned out it was the Delta. So, they got 340 known cases in Omicron as of last Tuesday. Last Tuesday. I don't know. Let's see. Meanwhile, Germany's ordered millions of new doses. Yeah, we knew that. So that's nuts. All of that's insane. These people are crazy. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4, 5 shot, 6 shot, 7 shot, more. It's like it's never going to end. So let's check this out. This is a tweet from Peter McCullough, Dr. Peter McCullough. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast last week, talking about all things COVID. I highly recommend you go check out that podcast. He has some very good, insightful information, and holy crap, does he cite some studies. He brings the science, literally. Like, dude's got 1 million studies. It's a almost 3-hour-long podcast. If you're driving somewhere during the holidays, I highly recommend you throw it on and listen to all of it. Now, when you're done, go look up the data and the research he's shown. This guy he brought the science. Absolutely, he brought the science. All right, so from Dr. Peter McCullough, who, by the way, he was trained in epidemiology, and he then went on later to become a cardiologist. So this guy knows a lot about the heart and a lot about viruses. NIH report showing SARS-CoV-2 replicates for less than 6 months in the human body, that's greater than. Sorry, my bad. We're forgetting first grade math. Let's try that again. NIH report showing SARS-CoV-2 replicates for greater than 6 months in the human body after the initial infection. No wonder people are testing positive more than once. It also explains long COVID syndrome. So that's pretty wild. So if you hear about those people that were like, oh, I got COVID twice. Well, maybe this explains it. Maybe you didn't actually get COVID twice. You're just, it replicates for so long in your body after the infection that you can pop positive again, even if you're not actually fully on blown COVID again. So that's some interesting information I thought you guys would like to know. And then this one, we'll get this one to load up here too. So yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting information that I saw first thing this morning on Twitter. Dr. Peter McCullough is a great follow. Follow him anywhere you can. This guy is on point. So, going back to the pokes and all these, so this is just in. This is from Nicole Killian, who is a news congressional correspondent for CBS News. So this is directly from her. Just in, Whip Clyburn, which says he has a breakthrough case of COVID. He says he took it more than 56 hours to get results. Clyburn is the 7th lawmaker to test positive this week despite being vaccinated. Majority Whip Clyburn announces breakthrough cases. Let's see if he had his booster or not. Does it say, tonight I received a COVID positive diagnosis. This is a breakthrough case and I am asymptomatic. I am fully vaccinated and received my booster in September. So yeah, fully boosted, all 3 shots, and he still got COVID. Make that of what you will. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying. He was boosted and still got COVID. Says he's asymptomatic, but politicians lie. Not saying he's lying, but we know politicians. And this, I love this tweet from Jordan Peterson. Because, so it's talking about when it comes to reporting on COVID in Canada, this is from True North, the legacy media are failing Canadians. Dr. Jordan Peterson's comment, the legacy media are in an unrecoverable death spiral, spinning ever more uncontrollably. The CBC has become a mewling, meandering, self-righteous, slogan-spewing, narcissistic near corpse. Ooh-hoo-hoo! Did they feel that? That sounds like it burned. Somebody get them boys some ice water. 'Cause, ouch. You just, one of the most intelligent men on the face of the planet, who has more degrees than most of us have or degrees longer than most of our legs, qualifications longer than most of our legs. And yeah, he just used his very expensive vocabulary to burn you something fierce. And that's one of the nastiest I've seen. And that's absolutely hilarious. I love that. So, to leave us all in a slightly cheerier mood, Sara Gonzales from The Blaze TV, she hosts the news and why it matters at 5 o'clock on The Blaze, Monday through Fridays. She just came up with a new song that she released on her channel, Sara Gonzales Unfiltered, on YouTube. And we're just going to listen to about a minute or so of it, because I think you guys are going to love this. Hold on just 1 second here. There we go. Had to get my headphones in. Wanted to be able to listen with all of you. And here we go. This is hilarious. I never expected some of these words to come out of Sarah's mouth.
Fuck you and your mask and your stupid little vax and your booster shot and your Omicron. Fuck you and your jab and the fucking Wuhan lab and your vax passports and your Pfizer cohorts. Started this thing in early 2020. Said we'd be here, but no one listened to me. Biden said he'd end COVID if elected, but his response has just been plain pathetic. Mandates, boosters, shutting down our kids' schools. They must think that we're all a bunch of fools. Pfizer CEO is raking in the money. Well, I don't really think it's very funny. You told us 15 days and we could slow the spread. That was 2 years ago. Now you say get the vax or we will end up dead. fucking Wuhan lab, and your vax passports, and your Pfizer cohorts. Na 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 na.
So yeah, that's Sarah's new song. I saw that pop up on YouTube last night, right before. Oh shit. Yeah, oop. I think you were getting my audio. Oh crap. I'm gonna cut. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna cut that section out. That's okay. Little mini clip. So yeah, that's Sarah's new song. I saw that on YouTube last night. So if you want to go check out the full version, go over to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered on YouTube. Sara spelt the proper way with no H, just S-A-R-A. You can see it on the screen. I watch her almost every day on the Blaze Network. They always bleep it when she cusses. On the rare occasions she actually does. So when I saw that last night, I was literally laughing and smiling almost through the entire damn thing. So of course they didn't monetize it. Why would they? Not like my videos will be monetized anyway. But seriously, go check that out on her YouTube channel. That was absolutely hilarious. I loved that so much. So that's pretty much where we're at on that one, guys. That was I'm gonna be laughing all day at that song. So that's the news. That's all that I could find that I thought was really important, stuff you guys should know before the holidays. Great information you can share with your friends. So make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you're on Rumble, hit that Rumble button and subscribe to the channel. Share all of this with your friends because that's the only way anybody else is ever going to see this. And if you value this information as much as I do, you'd want everybody to know it. So, Merry Christmas, guys. I'll see you after the holiday. This is Jesse with the Common Man Corpus Christi. Bye.